So the agenda of today's discussion is going to be, we will do authentic analysis of Karna and his life lessons, aspects of Kalki 2898 AD and the analysis, and the importance of being authentic in these kind of scriptures and the way forward. Okay. So now, first of all, this is cinema. When you say cinema, movie or the media, do you really think we have to get these scriptures into this cinema, movie, and media? With 600 crores budget, 1000 crores budget, 500 crores budget, definitely it is required. Why? Because cinema is so powerful medium that cinema has introduced us to a lot of facts, media has introduced us to a lot of facts, and it has increased our level of awareness. So definitely these kind of movies are welcome, but they have to be carefully groomed and produced. Movies like giving birth to a baby, isn't it? Movies like giving birth to a baby. When you give birth to baby, say for suppose 9 months, how many precautions you take? If you say that if you don't want to take precautions and randomly want to give birth to baby, what will happen? You are going to have either malnutrition child, or deformed child, or we can't, you can expect the unexpected also. What is more important in giving birth to a baby is there are something called essentials and there are something called cosmetics. Essentials are always important. Similarly, when you are making a movie, there are few important things. Something is like essentials, commercials, cosmetics. But what should be the order of preference? Should the commercials and cosmetics takes more precedence over essentials? When I say essentials, especially when you are taking a movie based on itihasas, you have to be very careful about their authenticity. This is the essential component. Without compromising this, you have any number of commercials and you have any number of cosmetics in it, it is going to add to the beauty of the movie. It will be a really blockbuster, a great blockbuster hit. So the preference has to be essentials, and then commercials, cosmetics, and other preferences that you have. But essentials should never be compromised. Now, movies like Kalki and movies like Adi Purush, movies, anything based on our itihasas, what should be the source of the movie? Should the source of the movie be any past movie or a serial that is taken or a drama that is enacted on a stage? Should we go like that? See, if you're talking about a movie based on a fictitious character, definitely you have your social, creative liberty. You can definitely make use of that creative liberty. But when you go for a social cause, definitely you can create characters and highlight the social problem, and then you can provide a solution. You can do this based on true incidents and all. Mythology, when you come to mythology, you can create your fictitious character. You can develop their personality. You can develop their walking style, talking style. You can develop their dealings with people, their agenda, their ideology, everything. But when it comes to itihasa, everything is fixed. When you take the character of Rama's character is completely given to us in Ramayana. When you talk about the character of Duryodhana, it is completely given to us in Mahabharata. Why should we make a new character out of Duryodhana when it is completely mentioned in itihasa? So the source of the movie should be authentic scriptures. What do you mean by authenticity? First of all, what do you mean by itihasa? Itihasa. That means it happened like this. It means it is the history. When you are taking, movies or plays on history, you have to be very careful to refer it from the authentic sources like Valmiki Ramayana and Vedavyasa Mahabharata. This is history. How can you create a fiction based on history? History and mythology both are contradictory terms. When two things are contradictory, how can you join them? Maybe you can find some scope, but not at the cost of character assassination, isn't it? So remember, my dear friends, any movie that is taken based on Ramayana or Mahabharata should fall in line with Valmiki Ramayana and Vedavyasa Mahabharata. These are the live documentations of our history. Anything that follows them, we can accept. Anything that is not following and it is against these things, we just have to simply reject. You just can't fabricate history, and you should not be fabricating history. When you make fiction out of history or the itihasa, for example, in this case, Mahabharata, isn't it mockery of history? It is disservice to the cultural heritage. So these things should not be encouraged. And now there is, coming to the next point, there is a lot of noise about Karna being powerful. I am using the word noise because there is no need of discussion at all. It is an unwanted discussion, an unwarranted discussion. Why should somebody, make a hero out of Karna? There is no need, but still lot of fuss is being created about it. There is something called life of Karna. There is something called story of Karna. What we are being exposed to in these movies is the story of Karna, but not the life of Karna. Life of Karna is clearly exposed in Mahabharata. But to make a hero out of him, we are creating unnecessary noise. So let us see what is exposed in Mahabharata about Karna. When I say Mahabharata, without any qualifier, it means it is talking about Veda Vyasa Mahabharata. Okay, friends? Now, let's come to episode number 1. Karna is, friend of Duryodhana, and these people started doing lot of mischief with Pandavas. And there are a lot of incidents, but let's start with the episode of Lack House. It is called Lakka Gruham, and these Pandavas were sent on pilgrimage, and they were stationed in a home which can catch fire easily. And when Pandavas were sleeping, Duryodhana has ordered one of his attendant to set fire for this house. Who is the prime cause? Who encouraged this act of Duryodhana? It is Karna. What is the reason? Duryodhana's and Karna's jealousy and Pandavas is turned into enmity. This is nothing but the plan of the Dushta Chatushtayam. I hope all of you know who is Dushta Chatushtayam. I would love to call them as filthy four. Who are these filthy four? Duryodhana, Dusasana, Sekuni, and Karna. These are the four Dushta Chatushtayam. When Mahabharata itself is telling that these are the Dushta Chatushtayam, Dushta is wicked, why do you want to make a hero out of Karna when he is being clearly, Mahabharata is confirming he is a Dushta? I really don't understand. Next, what happened to this action? There is a reaction. Pandavas are safe. They had to face some adversities. Finally, they emerged out successful and they became the kings also. What happened to Kauravas? They had to face humiliation because everybody came to know that this is the act of Kauravas to kill Pandavas. So hence, Kauravas has to face lot of humiliation. In this episode, what is making us feel Karna as a Veera? A person who can't control his jealousy, who is converting his jealousy into enmity, do you think he will be a role model for us? He is a man of integrity for us. My dear friends, let's talk about the learning lessons, the life lessons from this episode. A leader should always make sure his ego and jealousy does not convert into enmity and hatred, because these emotions, when not controlled properly, these are going to have be disasters. Uncontrolled jealousy will lead us to mischief, criminal mindsets, and finally humiliation and defeat. So let's not do it. But from Pandavas, what we can learn is life may test us, but as Pandavas, we too will come out with flying colors. Patience and being rooted to dharma is what is required. So determination towards dharma and perseverance or patience is what is required for us during the testing times. These are the lessons for any leader, whether you are the leader of the family, you are the leader of the organization, or you are the leader of your own self. These are basic emotions and adversities that are common, but still you should not let them control you. You should always have a plan to tame them and use it to your benefit, according to your benefit. Okay, going to the next episode. What Karna has done is, for the sake of easy money, power, and pleasures, He has resorted to flattery. Flattery of Duryodhana. Duryodhana is such a kind of a person who is driven by ego. He always likes people who will praise him. So his weakness is flattery. Karna knows this. So hence he always flattered Duryodhana, and he has got Anga kingdom. Not just Anga kingdom, an equal status to Duryodhana. Now, this flattery, what is the cost of it? This flattery of Karna has led to lot of inappropriate decisions taken by Duryodhana. Also, Sekuni took advantage of Karna's intentions. Correct or not? So Karna is the reason for the inappropriate decisions, and there is another person called Sekuni who took advantages of Karna's intentions. So what can we learn from this episode? Don't encourage flattery around you. If you are a leader, you should understand if somebody is a man of action or rhetoric. If you are driven by people of flattery, it is going to be very costly, boss. And if you are the person who is resorting to flattery, don't do flattery. If you are driven for, if your idea is to get easy money or power or pleasures, remember this: history will always document, it speaks about you. Do not forget it. Your flattery will be exposed sooner or later. And see, first one, Duryodhana, who falls for flattery. Second one, the person who is doing the flattery, which is Karna. And the third person who is taking advantage of the flattery, which is Sekuni. Both the person who falls for the flattery and who does flattery, both of them have fallen victims for Sekuni. So these three people are there in the organization. A leader must be aware of these three people, and a leader should not be one among these things. A leader is somebody who will make the team collaborate with positive mindset rather than this kind of negative emotions, isn't it? Even in this episode also, Karna encouraged flattery rather than resorting to his veeratvam or invincibility. Next comes the game of dice. All of you must have known that game of dice, correct? The game of dice, which was played by Pandavas and Kauravas. Of course, it is an unfair deceit game of dice because Sekuni was there, who has cheated Pandavas with his deceit. Okay, who provoked it? Sekuni, Duryodhana, Karna, and Dussasana. Isn't it, my dear friends? Are these people, are these not the prime stakeholders of this deceit game? What is the reason? Pandavas lost this game and enmity intensified. Isn't it? So because of this unfair game, Kauravas have lost Pandavas, who are their blood relatives. Correct? And let's say it is a game. Winning or losing, is it in our hands? Winning or losing is not in our hands in any games. But are we following the rules of the game and playing a fair game? Isn't it that important? Are you rooted to virtues? That is more important here. Are these filthy four, the Dushta Chatushtayam, are they rooted to the virtues? Are they rooted to the rules of the game? Was it a fair game? Is Karna not the instigator of this game? Winning by unfair means is going to be a temporary win, but you will lose eventually. But the costly thing here is you will lose, most importantly, you will lose people who can support you, who are rooted in Dharma. Kauravas here have lost Pandavas. Pandavas also have developed enmity. Till then there was some enmity, but it was mild from the perspective of Pandavas. But with this kind of unfair game, what happened to Pandavas? Their enmity and Kauravas also got intensified. Isn't it? Let's go to the next episode. Pandavas have lost the game. Now they are ready to go to exile. But what happened? Did Karna not instigate Duryodhana? Did Karna not instigate Duryodhana to pull Draupadi into the court? Tell me, friends. Isn't it? Now tell me what happened. Draupadi was not in a position to be, coming to the court, but she was dragged forcefully. Don't you think it is hurting the sentiments and privacy of somebody? Losing is common in any game. Is it the sporting spirit with which you will deal with, when you lose the game or win the game? Will you target the family members of the losers also? Will it did not stop with the family, with the people who have lost. It has gone to the family members also. So the war is between the kings, not between the families, not between the women and children of the families, right? Where is the respect for women? Don't you think the respect for women is indispensable? See, if you see Ramayana, Mahabharata, the wars have happened because, when women are subjected to humiliation, and when you lack respect to women, you are going to lose your life. This is the message, simple message that we can derive from Ramayana and Mahabharata. Is Karna not the person who brought Draupadi into this picture? Maybe they would have solved Kauravas and Pandavas, even after 12 years or 13 years or whatever, it is, they would have solved this amicably. But the moment Draupadi was brought into the court in an unfavorable situation, and she was subjected to humiliation, the rivalry was intensified. That is why Kauravas have to face the consequences, especially Karna. When you are dealing with women like this, do you think Karna is a Veera? So as leaders, first, sporting spirit is very important. Winning or losing should remain in the players, but not to the families. And respect for women and children at any situation is very, very important. If you are, as a leader, if you are not following it, you will be, taken for a task. Life will take you for a task. It is, nobody else is required to do it. Now let us go to the next important episode. Once Draupadi is brought into this court, she answered few critical questions about dharma. Did she lose really, or is it, is it a conspiracy? When Draupadi questioned the injustice done to her, nobody in the court except Vidura opposed it. Of course, Vidura is the one who has opposed it completely because he immediately left the court and walked off. Other people, Drona and Bhishma, they gave some explanations, but they did not leave the court. But Karna, along with many, know that this is wrong, but still they have done this. When you take a decision as a leader, you should be ready to give answers, logical answers, authentic answers for your decisions. The lesson we have learned from Vidura in this episode is, if you can't stop wrong or wicked things, at least abandon the things, situations, and people who are responsible for it. You will be saved at least. As a leader, you must stop it. If you can't stop injustice, by keeping quiet in it, or by, taking part in it, in a calm fashion, you will have to reap the consequences. We see Bhishma, right? Bhishma is a great devotee, great warrior, invincible warrior. Finally, what happened to him? He has to lie on the deathbed made of arrows. Why is that punishment given to Bhishma? Because he could not stop the injustice done to Draupadi, being in a position, being capable to stop that. As leaders, it is our primary responsibility to stop these things. Here also, Karna is not, a Veera, an invincible warrior. There is nothing, a role model. We can make a role model out of him, right? Isn't it? Next, you can't answer Draupadi's questions. You have to keep quiet. But what did Karna do? What did Karna say to Draupadi? Karna said, "You are equal to a prostitute, and hence you can be dragged into the court even without clothes." He explicitly used the word bandaki. It is even more derogatory than the word prostitute. By hearing to this only, Duryodhana ordered Dusyasana to disrobe her. Because of this, what happened? Bhima challenged this act, and he promised that he will kill Dusyasana by piercing his chest and bathing the hair of Draupadi with his blood. If Kurukshetra war would have happened, maybe Dusyasana would have died, but not this kind of horrible death. Who brought this horrible death to Dusyasana? Isn't it the provocation of Karna that led to Duryodhana's order, which made Dusyasana, face that horrible death? Is this the attribute of a Veera or a leader? What can we learn from it? When Draupadi was being disrobed, Krishna provided the cloths and proved the chastity and piousness of Draupadi. So testing times are just to show you the toughness, your toughness to the world. If you resort, if you encourage flattery around you, if you encourage bad counsel around you, if you encourage provoking behavior around you, what happens? You will face horrible destiny as Dusyasana. And on top of all these things, forget about these lessons. What authority did Karna have or has to comment on somebody else's wife or any other woman irresponsibly, derogatorily, and that too in public? Is it that respect that you have towards women? Is it your character and respect towards women? This highlights the workplace and sexual harassment, principles or the, framework that we have in our organizations now. Women should always be respected. They have to be provided with equal opportunities, and they should be safeguarded from all types of harassment. What happened to Dusyasana and Duryodhana here? Or all the other Kauravas, they could not protect the privacy and the workplace rights and the protection rights for Draupadi. Hence, they had to face this kind of fate where all of them were eliminated. Isn't it, my dear friends? This is another episode. Now, Karna realized, because of Krishna's help, Draupadi is saved. Now, how can Karna defend himself? Now Karna started again. He started speaking to Draupadi. He said, "Hey Draupadi, your husbands are losers. So choose a person who don't lose a game. Choose a right man for you." This invoked Duryodhana again. And Duryodhana signaled to Draupadi to sit on his lap. In turn, this invoked or this provoked, this instigated Bhima, and he took an oath that Duryodhana will be destroyed in the war, and he will make sure that he will destroy the thighs of Duryodhana in the war. Destroying the thighs of Duryodhana is against the norms of the battle, because you can't go down below the waist. But because Duryodhana has signaled Draupadi in that way, in the court, publicly, inviting her to sit on his lap, this is the fate that Duryodhana is going to meet. Now, Duryodhana and Dusyasana, both of them have faced horrible death because of whose provocation? It is provocation of Karna. Karna is called a loyal friend. Karna is called a loyal friend. Is it how a loyal friend behaves? Is it how a loyal friend behaves? Is Karna a Mitra? Mitra means Mitat Trayate iti Mitraha. Somebody who will protect us from all sorts of shortcomings. Already Duryodhana and Dusyasana are full of shortcomings, but Karna have intensified those shortcomings. So what kind of Mitra he is? He is a Mitra. So he is an insane, unfit person to be a friend at all. And people talk about his loyalty towards friendship. Whatever I am saying, friends, it is in Mahabharata, which is, documented by Vedavyasa. How can he be called as a Mitra? He is Amitra. He has spoiled Duryodhana and Dussasana, and he has made a horrible destiny for Duryodhana and Dussasana. Correct? So Karna cannot be, forget about Karna being called as a Veera or an invincible warrior. He is not a friend at all. Next, Pandavas have accepted that they have to go to forest, 12 years of exile and 1 year of hiding. So 12 years of Aranyavasa and 1 year of Agnatavasa. When Pandavas are doing their Aranyavasa, Kauravas, especially this Dushta Chatushtaya, the filthy four, they wanted to trouble Pandavas because they are short of resources in the forest. So they wanted to go and just, trouble them. In this journey, again, this was also provoked by Karna only. Absolute provocation from Karna. Because, see, you can think why Karna is doing it. Karna always wanted to do something which is impressive to Duryodhana. He wanted to butter Duryodhana. He wanted to impress Duryodhana with his words and actions. So Duryodhana is always against Pandavas, jealousy of Pandavas. Duryodhana is always with jealousy on Pandavas. So he always wanted something against Pandavas. So Karna has exploited this, fissures between Kauravas and Pandavas. In this journey towards Pandavas, what happened? Kauravas got into war with Gandharvas. The ruler of Gandharva at the time, Chitrasena. This Chitrasena, what happened? He defeated Kauravas and he has jailed Duryodhana. What happened to Karna when Duryodhana was being, jailed? Or Duryodhana was, being tied to the tree or whatever it is. Karna just ran away. Karna could not win this, Gandharvas. Finally, who saved Duryodhana? Bhima and Arjuna. Bhima and Arjuna, on the recommendation or advice or the order of Dharmaraja, these people have gone and saved. Dharmaraja told, he is our brother, we have to save. This is the magnanimity with which Pandavas have dealt with Kauravas. That is the meanness with which Kauravas have dealt with Pandavas, especially Karna or the Dushta Chatushtaya. Even in the Ghosha Yatra also, the invincibility of Karna is exposed. Even after the Ghosha Yatra, after 12 years of their exile, Aranyavasa, Pandavas went into Agnatavasa. They were hiding in Virata Raja's kingdom. Kauravas came to know about it. They wanted to expose it, and again they wanted to send them to 13 years of exile. So because of that, they started attacking Virata kingdom. Again, Karna is the prime instigator in this episode also. What happened? Humiliation. Arjuna single-handedly won all the Kauravas, and Karna could not do anything about it. Karna lost this battle. What kind of Karna we are talking about? The Karna who was blessed with the natural armor and earrings. They say, right? Because of his natural armor and earrings, he is invincible. Same Karna ran away. He always chose to run away from Arjuna. And this guy is provoking Duryodhana, and Duryodhana in turn is falling to his, flattery. Do you think a leader should be like this? Whether you take, Ghosha Yatra, which happened in Aranyavasa, or Gograhanam, which happened in, in the Agnatavasa of Pandavas, both the places, Karna could not do any kind of justice to Duryodhana. Both places, humiliation and loss. Yes or no? One important lesson that we have to learn from this episode is, where boasting ends, their dignity starts. Karna should learn this. Karna was never fed off his boasting. And in turn, he has, habituated Duryodhana also to this kind of boasting. So, as a leader, we always should learn and stick to the principle, where boasting ends, their dignity starts. Also, Duryodhana or a leader of an organization should learn believe in people's action, not in their flattery. Isn't it, friends? If you believe in their flattery, how can you keep your organization going forward in successful model? So these are the lessons from these episodes. Again, here Karna is not invincible. Next, once Pandavas came back, as they have followed the rules of the game, you also have to follow the rules of the game, correct? But have you followed the rules of the game? What are the rules of the game? You have to give back the kingdom to them. Have you given the kingdom back to them? You did not. Pandavas requested at least to give 5 provinces. Forget about the kingdom or half share. You give 5 provinces. But Duryodhana outrightly rejected because of Karna. Karna is the one who said they don't deserve it. Is this a fair game that Karna has played? Why did Karna do this? If Pandavas are given kingdom, both Kauravas and Pandavas will start to coexist, and he will lose his identity, he will lose his relevance in Kuru Samrajya. It is identity crisis. Are we not seeing people who are suffering with this identity crisis in our workplace? We have to deal with them in a separate way. We have to infuse confidence in positive way, and we have to warn them multiple times, and strict orders have to be passed to stop them not to use foul tactics. A game has to be fair game, otherwise it's bounce back, it will bounce back on us. Because of your identity crisis, you cannot resort to unfair means. This is one important lesson when Kauravas could not give Pandavas their share of kingdom. Next, because of not giving the kingdom, now people started resorting to war strategies. Pandavas again sent Krishna as on a diplomatic assignment. Krishna counseled Kauravas, Bhishma counseled, Drona counseled, Vidura counseled. All of them have counseled Duryodhana especially. Maybe Duryodhana was about to listen, but who stopped it? Again, because of identity crisis. Who stopped it? Karna said, they don't deserve any. This Krishna is actually provoking us, so don't fall to the words of Krishna. All these people are insincere to you. Believe in me, believe in my prowess, believe in my invincibility. I will fight and I will conquer the entire Pandavas. These are the words spoken by Karna. What happened to him at the end? Duryodhana lost his character, Duryodhana lost his relatives, Duryodhana lost his friends, Duryodhana lost his family, Duryodhana lost his life, and eventually Duryodhana has lost his character. Don't you think this attitude of Duryodhana, which is manufactured by Karna's provocation, is the root cause of Kurukshetra? Now people say in Kurukshetra a lot of unfair means are adopted. But first of all, why is Kurukshetra in place? If you ask me, the only reason for Kurukshetra is Karna, not even Duryodhana, Shakuni and Dussasana. Shakuni, Dussasana and Duryodhana had their own limitations and obligations. But uncontrolled, loose tongue is present with Karna. He is the one who has spoiled all the Kauravas. At the same time, especially these 3 people, Dussasana, Duryodhana and Shakuni. What is the lesson? Karna's pseudo-invincibility was exposed many times. But Duryodhana could not realize it because of Karna's buttering attitude. Are we such leaders? Karna's provoking attitude is responsible for the biggest war. Such flatterers will make organization doom. So we must keep them away, or train them, or mold them. If molding is not possible, keep them away. Otherwise, be ready to face all the organizational consequences. Next, it is told that Kunti, the mother of Pandavas, At the same time, the mother of Karna also have begged for Putra Bhiksha for Karna. My dear friends, in Vedavyasa Mahabharata, there is nothing of that sort happened. Kunti, when Krishna came to her and asked, she said, Madhava, why do you want to do this diplomatic assignment? I wanted my sons to be, warriors. Do as Draupadi, Nakula, and Sahadeva has said. Don't do this kind of diplomatic assignments and try to establish peace. Kunti is a powerful, resilient lady. She will not see. Kunti has seen so much. Do you really think that she will resort to this kind of despondency at the time of war and beg for a person who is adharmic in nature? Kunti has never resorted that. But yes, Kunti spoke to Karna one time. When war was confirmed, Kunti thought it is war between 100 Kauravas and 5 Pandavas. Why should remaining innocent people should be killed? Why should they pay the consequences? So to avoid it, let me use a strategy where I will try to pull Karna towards Pandavas because he's brother of Pandavas. So she asked, why don't you join Pandavas? He said, I will not join. The intent of Kunti here is not to save Pandavas, but to save the entire community, lot of people. Is this wrong? Is this begging for Putra Bhiksha? Is this begging for Putra Bhiksha? If this is wrong, then what did Duryodhana do? Duryodhana has gone to Krishna knowing that Krishna is Pandava Pakshapati and asked for help, right? Krishna did some help for Duryodhana also. If Duryodhana's act is a strategy, Kunti's act is also a strategy. Why is strategy? If Kunti has begged, then Duryodhana also has begged. Duryodhana is a great strategist, but Kunti is a beggar. Is this what is right? Is this how you expose the historical? Kunti is a powerful historical character. Kunti is a role model for a lot of women. If you read Kunti, understand her and assimilate her, life of women will be so powerful, so successful. She is a role model. She's a role model. Such character of Kunti is assassinated by showing in movies that Kunti has requested, begged, and cried in front of Karna. Wrong. Unfortunately, it is wrong. But movies have taken it. So what have you done? You have made a hero out of a wicked person with your misinformation and disinformation campaigns. This is a publicity stunt. So publicity stunt based on falsity will be exposed. See, today we are talking about all these things because Karna's falsity is exposed. Correct or not? Kunti is not like that. Kunti and Krishna tried their best to avoid war. Kunti and Krishna represents those kind of people who wanted to work for the prosperity of the organization. One should respect them. One should not defame them. Isn't it? Krishna and Kunti work for the betterment of the society, Kuru Samrajya. But what did this Kauravas, especially Karna, do? Next, war started. When war started, Karna is very good warrior. Absolutely no doubt. I'm not saying he's invincible. He's a Veera. I'm just saying he's also a good warrior. There is absolutely no doubt about it. When assigning different roles to different people, Bhishma, wantedly or unwantedly, he has designated Karna as Artharatha. Karna feels he is a Maharatha. Athiratha, Maharatha, whatever it is, okay? So what should be the right way to react if you are not getting the right position in the organization? What did Karna do? He said that he promised that he will not return to the war. He will not participate in any war till Bhishma is there. I have a question here. What if Bhishma alone finished the war? What about the promises made by Karna to Duryodhana? Are you standing by your promises? Duryodhana has done so much for you. But have you reciprocated it? And another question that I have is ego more important or the organizational purpose more important? Here Karna lost himself to the ego and he has lost the purpose. Karna yielded to ego and lost the purpose. So he did not display that loyalty that he has to support at that moment. See, at the end of the day, Duryodhana waited for this moment of Kurukshetra, and Duryodhana banged upon Karna for this moment, and at this moment, for 10 to 11 days, he is not on the war field. Is this justice done by Karna? Is this his integrity? Is this his loyalty? Is this his commitment towards the friend? By the way, I am not against Karna. I am exposing Karna as he is. You want to make a mythology on Karna, I will also fight the same way. I am saying these are historical characters. They have to be understood the way they are present in the scriptures. You just can't make a mockery out of them, isn't it? Clear, friends? If you see Karna, I always think purpose versus ego. He gave preference to ego. Loyalty versus identity. He gave preference to identity. At the time when your purpose mindedness and loyalty are required, you have yielded to ego and identity crisis. Unfair. Duryodhana entered war field based on Karna. Even in our organization also, we bank on a lot of people who are egocentric. My dear friends, as leaders, understand egocentric people cannot be trusted. Always be aware of these egocentric and fickle-minded people. Usually, ego and fickle-minded, both of them are going to be the same. Egocentric people are strong in their mindsets, but they are fickle-minded in the promises they make to other people. So this is the lesson that we can learn from this episode. So after Bhishma, he came to the war. Okay, he came to the war. What happened afterwards? What happened afterwards? Karna started participating in the war, and suddenly, it is said that Indra has cheated Karna. See, Indra has taken the armor and earrings of Karna. Absolutely no doubt on this. But is it cheating? Let us understand this episode very clearly. Let us understand this episode very, very clearly. When Indra was about to come, the sun god, who is the father of Karna, told Karna that, Indra is going to come. He will ask for your kavacha kundalas, the armor and earrings. What did you say, Karna? What did Karna say? Karna said, Abba, I am going to give donation to Indra. I don't want to lose that fame. That means you are going to give a donation for the sake of name and recognition. So it is not a selfless donation, number one. When you said this, sun god has said, Surya Deva has said, okay, in that matter, there is a weapon called Shakti with Indra. It is very powerful. You ask for it. Then what did you say? Ah, wow, wonderful idea. And then when Indra came, he said, hey Indra, you give me the Shakti Ayuda, I will give you my Kavacha Kundalas. Is this a barter system? Is it a business? Isn't it business than charity? Tell me, isn't it business than charity? Is it donation or business? Also, did you talk to Duryodhana because Duryodhana banged upon your armor, banged upon your earrings because they will make you invincible? Did you talk to Duryodhana before doing this kind of donation, which will compromise your Swami's purpose, your master's purpose? You didn't inform. You compromised his purpose. At the time when it is required, you have lost your natural protection. Not justified for whatever reason it is. You took Shakti Ayuda. Did you put it to right use? No. You are very fickle in your attitude. You don't know what is the purpose of your life at all. What is your goal? What do you want to achieve? One time you said you want identity. Second time you said you want name and fame. You said third, again you said you are very loyal to your friend. Again you said, you want to be a great donor. Again you wanted to say you want to be invincible. What do you want to be in life? So much of confusion in life. Isn't it? My dear friends, in this episode, Karna did not use Shakti Ayudha also properly. Indra told him very clearly that Shakti Ayudha can be used only once. It has to be used only as the last resort. It will not work against Arjuna because Krishna is there along with Arjuna. Krishna is equal to millions and millions of Shakti Ayudhas. When you can't conquer Arjuna, why did you take it in the first place? You are very, 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 desperate to have that Shakti Ayudha with you. So, my dear friends, the user manual of Shakti Ayudha not followed. I would relate it to the business requirement documents or the functional mastery of a particular website or a product that we have developed. Unless you develop mastery, you can't use it properly. As a leader, you have to be a functional master and requirement master. Then only you can lead your team properly. Next, donation or any act should be in the best interest of the organization that you work for. Otherwise, it is not going to be labeled as loyalty. Correct? Again, another important thing, unilateral decisions without consulting, at least at the peak of the time, are very, very dangerous. You have to take decision as a team and work as a team. Whether it is, personal choices or organizational choices or family choices, decisions cannot be unilateral. Yes or no? So far, what is Karna for us, my dear friends? Jealousy, you see, provocation, you see, flattery, you see. What happened? Shame. So far, did he win any war with his natural armor? No. All that this armor and earrings have helped is, not to die. That's all. Don't you think for a warrior, running away from the war field or losing the war is equal to death? Karna has done it so many times. I have quoted you so many instances where Karna has lost or run away from the war. It is equal to death. Karna already died before Kurukshetra only as a warrior. So there is no question of he being a warrior at all. Karna is an example of very, very bad resource management. All the resource given to him, whether it is position equal to Duryodhana or kingdom that is given to him, the armor that is given to him, the power, prestige, and loyalty given to him, all these are put to inappropriate uses. Very, very poor management of resources. A leader should never be a poor manager of resources. He has to be proper manager of resources. Otherwise, leadership cannot evolve or succeed. Is it clear, friends? Many people claim that Karna has, left Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, Dharmaraja in the war, even though they were he conquered them. See, my dear friends, if you read the 12th and 14th day of Mahabharata written by Vedavyasa, Abhimanyu, Satyaki, Sahadeva, Bhima, these people also have conquered Karna. They had the opportunity to kill him, but they left him for the sake of promise made by Arjuna. When these people have left, he also has left. So why talk only about the Karna's power and not about the Pandavas' side power? Isn't it a publicity stunt? Karna did not give any prana bhiksha. Karna is living up to his expectations. He told his mother that he will try to attack. He has, lived up to his promise. But are Abhimanyu, Satyaki, Sahadeva and Bhima not living up to Arjuna's promise? What is so great about it? If you want to talk about, Karna's power in, in leaving these people, instead of killing them, then talk about Satyaki, Abhimanyu, Sahadeva, Bhima's prowess also, right? It has to be vice versa. You have to give a comprehensive picture. Why do you want to make a hero out of somebody who has already died before the war many times? Unfair. Isn't it? The biggest lesson for us is Karna never learned his lessons. That's the biggest problem. He is never ready to learn. So that's challenging thing. A leader has to always, leader has to be open-minded to learn things. Now let us go to killing of Abhimanyu. Karna played a great role He's a great warrior in this. Abhimanyu, when he was fighting, nobody. See, Bhishma, being a great warrior himself, Bhishmacharya, he could withstand for 11 days. More than 11 days, Abhimanyu was there in the war field. Abhimanyu was killed by deceit. Karna is the prime, or Karna is the brain behind this. Karna is the one who killed. Instead of attributing this shameless act to Karna, people are defending him, saying that he is loyal to his Duryodhana. It is not about loyalty. So far, he is not loyal to Duryodhana. Now he is going to be loyal to Duryodhana. Tell me one instance in the past that I have discussed so far where he is loyal to Duryodhana. He was never loyal to Duryodhana, right? So even in the case of killing of Abhimanyu, this is completely unfair, right? You have to develop resilience to fight than adopting foul ways to win. Fighting with spirit is more important than willing with foul means. Karna is an epitome of this. Finally, about Karna. In the movie, it is told that Krishna has appreciated Karna for being a great warrior. I'm sorry, my dear friends, Krishna never passed such kind of comments. When Karna's chariot went inside the ground, when it sucked inside the ground, when Arjuna, when he's trying to lift it up, set it right, Krishna ordered Arjuna to kill Karna. Then Karna questions, "Hey, Krishna, you should not be doing this. I am on ground, Arjuna is on the chariot. You should not attack like this. This is against Dharma." Finally, Karma came to the concept of Dharma. So far, he never spoke about Dharma. Putra Dharma, Mitra Dharma, Raja Dharma, Loka Dharma, no dharmas are there. Now, to save his life, he is talking about Dharma. Then Krishna told, my dear friend, when Bhima was, poisoned, where is your Dharma? When you put fire, set the house of Pandavas on fire, where is the Dharma? When you win an unfair battle, dice game, where is the Dharma? In the case of Draupadi, where is the Dharma? In the case of Arjuna, Abhimanyu, where is the Dharma? So far, you have been adharmic. Now, when it comes to saving your life, you are being a dharmic now. You don't have any moral right to talk about Dharma. And by saying these things, Krishna ordered Arjuna, he is a Nicha. You have to kill him like this only. No mercy at all. He doesn't deserve any mercy. This is a certificate that Krishna has given to Karna. Why do you want to speak another language of Krishna? Did Krishna never said Karna is a great warrior or invincible warrior. The final certification of Krishna is this. In between the war, if two warriors are appreciating each other's power, it's okay. It is mutual respect. But that doesn't mean certification, right? Krishna's certification is Karna should be killed mercilessly because he has always wicked in his thoughts, actions, and deeds, and he should be mercilessly killed. Okay, friends? So what is the lesson from Karna? As you sow, so you reap. But what did movie makers do, my dear friends? Dana, Veera, Sura, Karna. Dana is a business. Veera is running away from the war. Sura is resorting to wicked means. Why Karna to be should be made as a hero? Why should Karna be made as a hero? This is the movie Karna. This is the Karna which is made and exposed for us by the movie makers and misleaders, by the people who want to distort and destroy our history. But what is actual Karna? Loose tongue, provocative in nature, flattery, a coward, an exploitative opportunist, a man with identity crisis, fickle-minded person, no loyalty at all. These are the terms that defines Karna in the entire Mahabharata. Maybe he's a warrior, but he is not a Veera. Funny, isn't it? These people see the distance, or see how far the actual Karna is from the movie Karna. And I'm surprised that one of the biggest director, the pan-India director, in one of the public speeches says that Karna is a person who is larger than life, a man of values and integrities. Lol. We should laugh out loudly, isn't it? What nonsense is larger? Okay, anyway, it is his personal choice. But in reality, he is not like that. Okay? Next, why these distortions? If this is so much clearly present, why these distortions? One simple thing, my dear friends, after Ramayana and Mahabharata were documented by Valmiki and Vedavyasa respectively, there are many people who got into this, have lived these scriptures and they have documented their own experiences, anubhavas, anubhutis. We will accept them till it is in line with the original documentation. If these the new documentations or the new writings which distort the character of the personality or a situation, we reject them. But there are a few people who have misunderstandings, who could not understand the language of Sanskrit. They also have done injustice to us. There are people with vested interest. See, cinema is a powerful field, but to exploit money from the audience to gain publicity out of controversies, there are a lot of people who have resorted to these kind of distortions. Name, fame, money, and exploitative intentions. These are the reasons for major distortions. See, if these are not the reasons, and if ignorance or not knowing is the only reason, then after telling them these things multiple times, right from 50, 60 years, they should correct themselves. But still they are not. And despite doing all these things, they could use different characters, right? Why should they use characters from Ramayana and Mahabharata only? Still they will resort to these characters only because these are the characters which have deep cultural connections with us. They are trying to exploit these deep cultural connections with us for money. Apart from this, what else is the reason? If ignorance is the reason, you must correct. If you are not correcting and following the same standard again and again, you are exploiting the connections of these with us. The common man is deeply connected to these scriptures, and you are making a mockery of these connections and cultural heritage. Is it fair? There is no other reason. If somebody finds in any other reason, they can definitely let us know. They can type it in the chat box also. Okay, so this is the first part of the presentation. The first part of the presentation, I have exposed the real Karna to you. You might be a fan of Karna. You might be a fan of Arjuna. You might be a fan of Krishna. Whether you are a fan or an anti-fan, this is what is Karna all about, according to Vedavyasa Mahabharata. You don't have any right to say that fiction based on Mahabharata by distorting these characters. That you have to understand, my dear friends. Whether you write a book, whether you write a movie, whether you do any play or a show, you can't say this. You just can't say fiction based on Mahabharata. How can history be made as a fiction? It is the high time that we come out of this blindly supporting mindset. Blind mindset, blindly supporting a character or a hero or a director or a particular community is wrong. It is the time that we stand united to protect our cultural integrity. Once upon a time, our invaders have spoiled our history by cutthroating our scholars and the documents. And now our brainwashed and misled people are doing it. They are spoiling our history. Are we not responsible to protect our history and pass it to the next generations? More than being committed to a hero or a character, you must be committed, or we must be committed to Desam, Dharmam and Daivam. This is the need of the hour. Instead of being committed to this and not able to accept the truth, if you start getting offended when truth is given to you, and if you want to live in the bliss of falsity, Who can change us? It is high time we must be united, my dear friends. It is high time. When you talk about Mahabharata, Vedavyasa Mahabharata is authentic. You can't just talk about anything. Okay? It is our responsibility to expose our generations. These people have one wonderful, defense to them. They say that we are trying to expose our history in grandeur for the next generation. So we are trying to make some fiction out of it. See, you make fiction out of it, but you should speak the same intent, content, and ideology of the character. You should not be making these characters speak your language and attribute these things to the historical characters. Correct or not? You make history powerful to the next generations, but not at the cost of truth. It is misleading future generations. It is disservice to culture. It is disservice to history, and it is disservice to national cultural sovereignty. Yes or no? This is a disservice to our nation's cultural sovereignty. Everybody is writing a book on Mahabharata saying that fiction is a book, fiction based on Mahabharata. How can fiction be written on Mahabharata? How can fiction be written on Mahabharata? How can fiction be written on Mahabharata? Can we write the same fiction on our family members, our life? There are people, their political leadership, movie artists, once they are passed away, now they are taking biographies on them. The biography shows only the positive aspect of it, even though they have a lot of negative shades. This is the kind of care that you take about your leaders. Isn't it the same care that you should take about the historical characters also, historical personalities also? Ultimately, what are we doing? Character assassination, correct? You are compromising the value system. You are assassinating the character. One child is asking me day before yesterday that, sir, you are saying that Karna has done this. Why these people are making a hero out of Karna? See the child. You are making an impact on the child. Ashwathama never came and told anybody that Karna is a great warrior, but you have shown it in the movie. Who gave you that liberty? Okay, you took that liberty. Krishna never certified Karna is a great warrior. You have done it. If you are attributing the certification to Krishna, what is the ideology of Krishna, the value system of Krishna? Mistake is a mistake whether you do it or somebody else do it. You have to reap the consequences. This is the ideology. Krishna is the person who have encouraged Arjuna to fight the battle against Dharma. If he is the one who is encouraging the fight the battle against Dharma, why will he support an adharmic person? Why will he certify an adharmic person? Are you not assassinating the character and the value system of Krishna? Unfortunate reality. Correct or not? You say Krishna is in favor of Pandavas. He is Pandava Pakshapati. Krishna, if you think Krishna is God, if Krishna is standing on the side of Pandavas, it means Krishna is standing on the side of Pandavas because of Dharma. Isn't it? Krishna is supporting Pandavas because they stood for Dharma. He is not on the side of Kauravas because they are adharmic people, wicked people. So wrong is wrong. Did you communicate this message? Hey, no. Karna is great, but Duryodhana and Shakuni have spoiled him. My dear friends, it is the other way. Duryodhana and Shakuni are already spoiled, but Karna spoiled even more. Karna spoiled them even more. Choosing them itself is a wrong choice of Karna. The inspiration of Karna should be Vibhishana from Ramayana. But he did not resort to such kind of value systems. He has many chances to come out of this trap, but he did not. Why these elements are not shown? Why are you creating sympathy? Why are you creating sympathy out of these wicked characters? See, the lesson here is God has given enough chances, enough role models for us. Instead of opting for those, if you opt for wicked choices, who is responsible for the consequences? Why are you sympathizing with Karna, who has always been wicked in his choices? Did you teach this value system to the people through your movies? Did you teach the value system that you are communicating is Even if you commit anything and everything, you disrespect women, you disrobe them, you do whatever you want with women, whatever you want with the people and resources. Finally, somebody will give you a chance to correct your mistakes. Is this what you have to pay the consequences? Karma theory. This has to be exposed. Then people will be very responsible. Instead of doing that, you make a hero out of a wicked person. And you are saying that Krishna has given Aswathama, a chance to protect Kalki Avatara. Where is this coming from? Which scripture you are referring to? Why should Karna be reborn and be made? Okay, you want Karna to be reborn, let him be a friend to you. That's okay. Let him, both of you have a personal discussion. That's okay. But why do you want to make a hero? Karna, according to Mahabharata, is a wicked character. Why do you want to make a hero? What is the message that you want to send it to the audience? When God decides these people are on the evil side, why will he help them or give them a chance to correct? God has decided to punish them. That is the redemption he has given them. Now I have seen an interview. It's a theory of redemption. He is giving an opportunity for Aswathama and Karna to, make things funny. Redemption is not about making a hero out of a villain. Redemption is giving a chance to correct. When will you give a chance to correct? When a person is dharmic. For example, take Bhishma. All through his life he is dharmic in nature, but unfortunately in the case of Draupadi he could not. So then it is a mistake. For that mistake, chance can be given. All through life you live a wicked life, finally you get a chance. What is this kind of resumption? It is not about chance. Entire movie is based on one hero, and that hero finally becomes Karna, and now you say that it's a redemption. So you are making a hero out of a villain and calling it as a redemption. What kind of theory is it? Is it a new invention or what? It is nothing but compromised and confused concept of redemption. Underline this word, compromised and confused concept of redemption, nothing else. Even then, giving a benefit of doubt, if you still say that my intentions are genuine, I am not aware of these kind of things, first you should understand while touching the scriptures, you have to be very, very sensitive and you must do enough research. I'm sure that when you are spending 500, 600 crores of money, you should have made a tough choice. Don't you think referring to authentic sources and making an authentic movie should be your choice? Is the choice not in your consideration at all? Friends, forget about these movie makers. History is not fantasy. Do not play with it. If you lose your history, you will lose your stand, your identity completely. We are nobody without history. And some other explanation or defense. Hey, we want to make a superhero. We want to make a superhero. What superhero you want to make? I want to make a superhero. If you want to make a superhero out of our historical characters, first of all, you should define superhero. If you talk about superheroes of Hollywood characters, in Hollywood movie, these superheroes are created characters. They can speak any language, they can wear any dress, they can talk anything, they can have any ideology. But the characters of our scriptures are real. They cannot do all these things. There is an element of flexibility, but not to an extent where they are compromised. So the real characters and the real characters must be dealt in a different way. And my point is, why can't you make superheroes from real heroes? Why to opt for foul characters and make them heroes? Don't you think it will be easy for you to make a hero out of a hero than to make a hero out of a villain? Take Arjuna, take Bhishma, you take Dronacharya. If you want to follow the concept of redemption, take Bhishma and Dronacharya. If you want to take positive characters, take Dharmaraja, take Arjuna, take Bhima. These are the warriors. Take Drishtadyumna. These are the warriors. Take Abhimanyu. Unless you have the real courage to, courage and conviction, both are required. Unless you have the courage and conviction to expose our real heroes, my dear friends, please understand, we will always be targeted by external and internal agents. Everybody, See, there are things like dismantling Hindutva. There are people who are trying to, it's age of information war. They are trying to attack us in all possible ways. In these kind of ages, how sensitive we should be towards our history, especially itihasas. Don't you have the courage and conviction to expose our real heroes? These real heroes are the people who are keeping our society intact, right? It is not Ravana, it is not Karna who is keeping this. It is Rama, it is Pandavas, it is Krishna who is keeping our lifeblood and everything. Our cultural integrity is being maintained. We have to understand and appreciate this. Exposing these wicked people as heroes is nothing but a publicity stunt. Can you make these kind of heroisms out of wicked people from other scriptures? Take a movie against a caste or a community or a region or a movement that is happening. What will happen? You will be banned. Even if your movie is released, theaters are demolished. Did we not see in the past 10-15 years, when movie is against a particular community, when movie is against a region, then a movie is against a movement, when movie is against a particular caste, theaters are being demolished. So is this the way you will learn your lessons? Is this the way you will learn lessons? Unfortunately, one director who said that these sentiments are useless, when people have attacked him, he has removed 30 to 32 scenes from the movie completely, which are against a region. Check the internet. I am not talking false. Check the internet. There is a director who have, removed scenes which are against particular region. But before releasing, when people have advised him, he said that no, it will not be done. I am very brave. Bravery is not about mocking a particular thing or plotting a conspiracy on certain thing or making, resorting to publicity stunts. Bravery is about exposing the truth. If you believe our scriptures are true, serve to glorify. If you don't, keep quiet. But don't do disservice in the name of glorification. You are no way glorifying the scriptures. You are no way glorifying the scriptures, my dear friends. Those people who are taking the movies and all these things. Okay? So, and finally, I want to talk about something which is very, very important. Let me be very specific in this issue. Let me be very, very specific. There is a hero named Prabhas who acted in this Kalki movie. Prabhas Ji is such a kind of a person who is down to earth, handsome, well-built, adaptable, versatile. He must be elevated in all perspectives. That is a kind of a real hero. Prabhas is somebody who is like a jewel in the hero community, in the movie community. One has to elevate him, support him, use his strengths. His charisma, his skills should be used to entertain audience, but that's okay. But we also should use this to spread social awareness, patriotism, preserve history, preserve national consciousness. That is when his charisma, his skills, his down-to-earth nature, everything is going to be useful. That is when you are doing justice to that particular hero. Unfortunately, the directors, the producers are misusing his skills, misusing his good nature, kind nature, magnanimous nature. I personally am a fan of Prabhas right from his second movie. But I am saying last couple of movies, I think he is misguided. He was misguided. I think my request to the heroes also is, when you are portraying these historical characters, try to do a bit of research and guide the directors also, the story writers also, the producers also, about what to be taken and what not to be taken. It is not just about Prabhas or XYZ heroes. It is about any hero, any element in the society, that should work for the betterment of our historical culture rather than this kind of false propaganda. My point is, a grave injustice is done to a great actor and a great person like Prabhas, darling Prabhas, a genuine person. Mind you, my dear friends, we can't find another darling, in the industry like Prabhas. Fans also must be focusing on the strength of the artist. This can happen only when they give the constructive criticism. As fan of, our darling, my point is he should be very careful in choosing the subjects. Let him play any role. I don't have any recommendations to which kind of a role, what role he should play. Whichever role he plays, especially when it comes to historical characters, certain care has to be taken. Other movies, other genres, it is up to you. But when it comes to history, it has to be very, very careful. That is, very, very important. And finally, I think the title of this movie should be Karna or Ashwathama instead of Kalki. Kalki is very misleading because I have never seen any Kalki, hardly 1 or 2 dialogues in the movie. Maybe in the beginning ones and the ending ones, but I did not find any other relevance of Kalki here. So it should be changed to Ashwathama or Karna. Maybe if Kalki is present in the next episode or the next part of the forthcoming parts, then you can name them as Kalki. I think that's the free advice. But to conclude, understand the word responsibility. With responsibility comes power and freedom. We should not misuse the creative liberty, the freedom of speech and expression, making heroes out of wicked people, and doing injustice to history and itihasas is no responsibility. All of us have to reap the consequences. And when you are talking about itihasas, authenticity and authority are very important. Authenticity and authority for Mahabharata and Ramayana are derived from Valmiki and Vedavyasa. No other choice. Any other distortions and deviations have to be in line with them. Otherwise, they are rejected. Okay, my dear friends. And another thing, Dharmaraja, Arjuna, Bhima, Nakula, Sahadeva, Rama, Lakshmana, these are very, very powerful characters. Unfortunately, we are playing a weak model of this. Duryodhana, Dussasana, Karna, Ravana, Indrajit, these people are wicked in nature. It is not about the power, my dear friends. It is also about the samskara. I may be inventing an atom bomb, but if I use the atom bomb on somebody to destroy the entire country, I'm no good. I'm not a great warrior. I'm not a great warrior. So Dharmaraja is shown very weak. Arjuna is shown very weak. Nahula Sahadevas are shown very weak. Rama is shown. Dasarada is shown very weak. When it comes to Ravana, superhero. When it comes to Karna, superhero. When it comes to Duryodhana, superhero. Stop this. All of us have collective responsibility. Let us work towards that. Mera Bharat Mahan. Thank you very much for the constructive participation. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Ram. I see a few questions. Why Mariam character is there in Sambala? See, I think they wanted to show that towards the end of this, Yuga, Kali Yuga, all the religions will come to one place, and all religions will believe in one God. Probably that might be his attitude or the intent behind showing that. So that's why I think he has shown different people, staying in Sambala. I think that is the reason why Mariam is there. See, I'm not against people taking movies on this. See, I'm a person who wanted to spread these scriptures to people. I have dedicated my life for that. So I don't encourage distortions, and we should not encourage distortions because it is injustice to the community. One movie, Danavira Surakarna, has done a grave injustice to people. We are the Pravachanakartas, the spiritual leaders, the Dharmic people, the Sanatana followers, the Hindu organizations are trying very hard to undo the damage done by that. It has done a great damage. It has glorified Karna and Duryodhana and made weak perspective about Pandavas. To undo that, it is still taking time. There are a lot of fans of Karna even today. Now I don't know. When these people, the Dharmic people or the Hindu organizations or other people are working to make value system strong and spread our scriptures, hardly 1 or 2 people will change with an year of effort. But these people take a movie very carelessly and influence so many people. It becomes very difficult. It becomes very, very difficult. So that's why we have to be united. I think that's the situation. Clear, friends? In Bhagavatam and some other places, the descriptions of Kalki Avatar are there, but that we can make a separate discussion, sir. Thank you so much. Jai Shri Ram, Mera Bharat Mahan.